Hello everyone, Mikey Lennon here, and I found some poems from when I was in 5th grade. I think I was like 11 years old. So I made these 11 years ago. And if you look here, you can see I have my pet parakeet there in my heart. I have the sunshine, My Name is Earl TV show, my friends and family, drawing, the zoo, the stars at night, fish, because I had some pet fishes back then, swimming pools. I got coffee, which I don't know why, because I didn't even drink coffee back then, and I don't know why my voice got kind of deep there for a second. But I did not drink coffee back then. So I don't know why I put coffee there, because I love coffee now, but I just got into it like 2 years ago, so that's that. Sylvester, which is my first pet that I ever had, but it's also my first cat, and I think that's why I prefer cats, and they're my favorite pet to have. Although I do like dogs and birds, I just like animals in general. Mr. Chubbs, which was my second pet, which was also a cat I got after Sylvester. Now that I'm done describing in the front and showing you everything in my heart, I thought I would kind of just share with you some of the poems I wrote. Blue. Blue is the fish at the pet store. Blue happy, blue is the folder I keep my poetry in. Blue is a daily schedule I follow in class every day. Blue is the water in the summertime. Blue is cold. Blue is the dried ice in movies. Blue is the sky in the summertime. I don't know why I say blue happy, because blue is not a happy color. It's not supposed to be happy. No, you don't say I'm blue and mean that you're happy. So that's a little interesting. Then you got, coming up next, Tuesday the 14th. The day Tuesday was an ordinary day, but it wasn't. It was a weird day. After school, me and my dad went to a pet shop. I found a 5 to 6 inch goldfish on the floor. I showed the workers. The goldfish was saved. I called it lucky. For a reward, my dad got me 3 goldfish. I named is Frankenstein, Stuckers, and Orange. The end. Which I remember that we have a little pet shop downtown, and they used to sell fish and just different pets. And I went to the fish room, and there's a big goldfish just sitting on the floor. So I told the workers, they put the fish back in the tank. The fish was saved. And as a reward, my dad bought me 3 of the little feeder fishes, which I had for a few months. They actually lasted a while, so yeah. So this one is, if I were in charge of the world. I wrote this on April 29th, 2009. If I were in charge of the world, there would be no gas cars. I would cancel Bob the Builder. I would ban Deliver. If I were in charge of the world, I can't speak, by the way. I would give everyone a pet. Everyone would get a house. If I were in charge of the world, I would cancel the news. There would be no homeless people. I would get rid of all slugs. If I was in charge of the world, everyone 0 to 84 years old would get $1,000 a week. Mr. DeVere gets an extra large coffee every day. So let's talk about that real quick. The reason I said cancel Bob the Builder is because I just don't like Bob the Builder as a kid, or even now. I don't know why as a kid like I would be into it now. And I don't like liver, so obviously banned that. Everyone would have a pet. I wrote that because I really like pets and just animals in general. And I guess back then I felt everyone should have a pet. Which, by the way, I realized not everybody deserves a pet, so that's that. I would cancel the news. The news is boring, and it really does nothing but shows you all the, more or less the scary stuff in life, and it doesn't focus on the good stuff. So it makes the world seem a lot scarier than it actually is. And that's just my opinion on it. So I would ban that. And then the last thing, Mr. DeVere getting an extra large coffee, is because Mr. DeVere was my 5th grade teacher, and he drank coffee a lot. Okay, so now it's I am Michael. I wonder what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I hear Bronco, my pet parakeet, sing all day. I see mice in the pet store. I want a pet fish. I am Michael. I pretend that I'm the king of the world. I feel happy. I touch paper every day. I worry that my house will catch on fire. I will cry when my grandpa dies. I am Michael. I understand how to write poetry. I say, have a nice day. I dream about high school. I try to get a good job. I hope to be a cook. I am Michael. I wrote that on March 19th, 2009. Talking about this one, I just want to say, I am actually still afraid of my house catching on fire because I don't want all my stuff to burn, you know? That has always been a fear of mine, I guess. That I dream of high school. Back then, I actually wanted middle school, not high school. I was more excited for middle school than high school. And I thought middle school was going to be so cool, and was not. I thought high school was going to be better than middle school when I was in middle school. It turns out it was just even more boring, and it was not good at all. Got a little bit more freedom, and that was it. And school just sucked in general, so yeah, that was that. The woods in my backyard. I see a lot of moss. I see a stream. I see dirt. I see trees. I see a trail. I see my dog Sugar. I see black bushes. I see a glimmer of sunshine. I hear water rushing. I hear trees' branches moving. I hear snapping of twigs. I hear my dog Sugar. I hear the breeze run past my face. What? I hear my mom saying, "Keep an eye on Sugar." I hear my dog Sugar jump in the water. I feel rocks. I feel blackberry bushes. I feel mossy trees. I feel my dog Sugar. I smell wet dog. I smell wet dirt. I smell wet grass. I smell wet moss. I smell wilderness. I smell dinner. That was just a poem about a weekend at my mom's house, I guess. Obviously, my dog Sugar was a big theme of this poem. I do miss that dog. The whole water thing is because my mom lives she has like 2.5 acres of woods, and she has a bog in there, which is not something you can really swim in, and the water's disgusting, but it took up like a lot of her property, and yeah, that was that. The bog is not a cool place. This one is called Mr. Smiley, and it's loosely based on me, and I say loosely because I will tell you afterwards later. Mr. Smile smiles all day. Mr. Smile never stops smiling. Mr. Smile never gets mad. Mr. Smile lives in a big yellow smiling house. Mr. Smile never gets sick. Mr. Smile has 3 fish. Mr. Smile has a Smile-mobile. Mr. Smile is in 5th grade. Mr. Smile has smiley faces on his name tag. Mr. Smile has lots of pets. Mr. Smile has a smiley bed. Mr. Smile has a smile tree. Mr. Smile has 9 rabbits, 2 dogs, 1 turtle, 1 frog, and 1 salamander. Mr. Smile has to go to bed now. I wrote that on May 15th, 2009. It's loosely based on me because I was in 5th grade. I did have 3 fish. I did have 9 rabbits, 2 dogs, a turtle, a frog, and a salamander. You know, most at my mom's house. The only one I had at my dad's house was one of the dogs. That's pretty much all that was real about me in there. I think I might have had smiley faces on my name tag. I wish I never got sick, and I wish I smiled all the time. So those are false, but that's whatever. That's 5th grade for you. And the last one. This one was called Mantonio. And I named it Mantonio because my friend Antonio, I just put an M in front of his name and called it Mantonio. And it was really popular with the class, and I remember a lot of people laughed. And here we go. This is a Mantonio. Mantonio lives on Mars in a house of Martians. Mantonio eats mangoes, melons, marshmallows, and marigolds. Mantonio likes maple trees, Marge, mountains, and math. Mantonio is a masterpiece. He loves mountains, and he misplaces lots of things. Mantonio stole my lunch money to get more marigolds. I wrote that on April 7th, 2009. So, reading those poems, I do think that for being 11 years old, I wasn't that bad at actually writing poems. I kind of impressed myself a few times with them, and some of them were just flat out lines, but that's part about being a writer, you know? And I give these poems a solid like 9 out of 10 for most of them, you know? But now it's time to write about the author. Michael goes to Sequamish Elementary. Michael's in 5th grade. Michael's favorite things are to play with animals, explore the woods, climb trees, and swim in pools and lakes. When Michael grows up, he wants to be a great cook. Michael was born on July 1st. In school, Michael likes writing stories about Halloween, animals, mysteries, and he likes writing poems. It's amazing because I still do like writing even though I don't write that much anymore. I don't know, writing has been good. I did want to be a good cook, but that just did not turn out, and cooking is not the kind of career I want anymore. Because I want to do something that I find a little bit more fulfilling. And the one thing that is fulfilling for me is making content. For some reason, just making videos and music and whatnot, it really does make me feel a lot more fulfilled and just happy with life. So that's kind of what I want to do now. So those are the poems I wrote in 5th grade. Let me know what you think about my poems. Remember, I was 11, so as far as lettering goes, this was like if Picasso wrote poems. So you gotta really appreciate that, you know?